If you want to add a knowledge base to your N8N AI agent, then this video is for you. You'll learn everything there is to know about knowledge bases, how they work, and ultimately how to add them to your workflow. We'll cover it all in this video. So pull out a pen and paper, get ready to take notes, and let's get into it. So first, let's go into what are knowledge bases and how does retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, work with knowledge bases. So first off, from a high level, a knowledge base is a structured collection of data that an AI can reference instead of guessing or hallucinating information. Think of it as a source of truth for your AI or as its long-term memory. This is the difference between the AI saying something that sounds correct versus actually including the correct information. Common use cases for a knowledge base are frequently asked questions, different SOPs or help docs, your internal wiki, your CRM data, or any product information. Now, why does your AI agent need a knowledge base? So LLMs don't automatically know everything about your business. And if you are to ask them something about your business that it doesn't have information about, it will hallucinate information. When you have a knowledge base, this grounds the AI's responses in real-world data, and it lets you control what the AI is going to say. Now, something you might be thinking is, can't I just put all of my knowledge into the prompt? And this process is called prompt stuffing. Stuffing everything into the prompt means you have a huge system prompt with a bunch of rules, examples, and data repeated every single time. Now, there are a few pros to this approach. The first is that it's quick to set up, there's no extra infrastructure that you have to do, and it's fine if you have a small amount of information that's static, which means it's not updated. Now, there are some major cons with prompt stuffing, which is why I wouldn't recommend it. The first of which is token limits. So there is a limit to how much information you can include inside of your system prompt. Also, all the information that you include in your prompt, you have to pay for because the API provider will charge you based on tokens. And the more information that you have inside your prompt, the more tokens you'll use and the more money you'll ultimately pay. It's also much harder to maintain if you want to update information, and you'll often find that if you have a very long prompt, the AI will frequently ignore pieces of information. Prompt stuffing only works when you have a very small data set that rarely changes and where the accuracy isn't as important. Now, the alternative to prompt stuffing is what we're talking about. It's knowledge bases. With a knowledge base, the information lives outside of the prompt, and the system only retrieves the relevant parts for the specific question it's asking. The major pros are that you can add tons of docs to a knowledge base without overwhelming your AI. The LLM will pull the right information for each query, it's easier to update, and your prompts will be cheaper. You can also trust that there will be fewer hallucinations because it's only pulling the relevant information into the system prompt. Now, if that's a little bit overwhelming, we're going to go into how this tech actually works in just a moment, but I want to cover a few of the cons. The biggest con with having a knowledge base is that it does take some more time to set it up because you have different steps like ingestion and retrieval. In short, prompts are static and knowledge bases are query aware and they update to what the user is actually asking. So now that you know what knowledge bases are, let's go into the process of RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation. This is the way that you actually implement knowledge bases into your AI workflows. The first step is ingestion. So this is adding documents to the system. In this process, data is cleaned, it's split into chunks, and then you tag it with metadata. The purpose of this is to make the content easy to find. The next step is to convert these chunks of data into vector embeddings. A vector is a series of numbers, and the way that LLMs work is that the data that they receive is converted into tokens. These tokens more or less represent individual words, and each of these tokens are represented by a series of numbers. This series of numbers encodes semantic meaning. So we have a screenshot on the right from the channel 3 Blue 1 Brown where he's broken down what embeddings actually look like if you were to map them into 3D space. Now, this is an abstraction because in reality, vector embeddings are more than just 3 dimensions. There are thousands of dimensions. But he's reduced it to this model where it can be viewed in a 3D world. And what you'll notice is that the distance between two words, such as man and woman, is very similar to the distance between the words king and queen, which tells you that the difference in these embeddings represents semantic meaning. This is an easy way of visualizing how embeddings represent semantic meaning because you can see how the relation between man and woman is almost similar to the relation between king and queen, which tells you that gender is somehow encoded in these numbers. And this is the idea behind knowledge bases. They don't just search for specific words like king or queen. They can search for ideas like monarch. Now imagine you had a long body of text discussing multiple different topics. One of those topics is the king. Now you don't know if you want to search for the word king exactly. You only know the word monarch. If you were to do Control F on your computer or use the grep command on the command line to find the word monarch, it wouldn't turn up anything. However, if you were to embed this as vectors and then use a knowledge base to search for the information, it can find the word monarch because there are similar tokens to this idea. That is the fundamental idea behind semantic search. You're searching for semantics, you're searching for meaning, not just specific keywords. And the way that we store these vectors is inside of a vector database. The next step of the RAG process is retrieval. So whenever a user asks a question, the question also gets embedded. and the system will find the closest matching chunks in the vector store. So you'll end up with a few pieces of information that are most likely to answer the question. And then finally, what happens behind the scenes is that the result from this search gets added as context to the system prompt. And now that you understand how knowledge bases work, let's actually add it to your workflow. In order to do this, we'll use a vector store called Pinecone, which makes it incredibly easy to set up a knowledge base in just a few clicks. So the first thing you'll need to do is to set up an account with Pinecone. Now I've included a special link to Pinecone in the description of this video. When you click that link, you'll get a 3-week free trial to Pinecone and also $300 in credits to use the platform. Make sure to use that link so you can get the most bonuses possible. After you do that, you'll be taken to this page where you can easily sign up with Google. Next, you'll be taken to this page where you can select the standard plan and get $300 in credits over the next 3 weeks. If you already have Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, or Azure set up, you can bill directly through them. Otherwise, you can simply add a card to start your trial. Simply fill out the payment details with your card number, expiration date, and security code. And on this side of the screen, you can fill out your business's name and address. And by doing this, whenever you receive an invoice, you can actually reduce your taxable income by marking this as an expense. And if you need to download the invoice, simply go to Billing, click on Overview, and you can download your invoice right here. For the next step, we're going to go to All Projects and then click on the default project. Here, go to Indexes and create your first index. For the configuration, choose Text Embedding 3 Small. And then here under Dimensions, make sure to change this from 512 to 1536. This is the number of dimensions that OpenAI will use. For the name, we can call this Knowledge Base. You can leave everything else as is and then click Create Index. Now your knowledge base has been created. Next, go to API keys on the left and then create a new API key. Here, we're going to call this N8N and then click Create Key. Go ahead and copy that. Now at this stage, we're going to go back to N8N. So if you already have an AI agent, this process is pretty simple. If you don't yet, you can go to our free school community and download this exact template. Simply go to the link in the description of this video, and once you join, click on Classroom, go to YouTube Tutorials and Templates, and then click on Knowledge Base via Pinecone Tutorial, and then click on this resource to download it. You'll be taken to a workflow that looks like this. Click on this button to add a new tool to your AI agent. We're going to type in Pinecone, click on that, and then here where it says credential to connect with, we want to add a new credential. You can call this Pinecone Knowledge Base. For the API key, you can paste it right here and then click Save. Next, we want to add a description. So this is a way for the AI to know when it should call the tool. In this case, I'm going to say, call this tool to search the knowledge base for refund policies. And then here where it says Pinecone Index, we're going to choose the index we just created. In this case, it's going to be knowledge-base. And then we're going to close out of that. Now underneath the Pinecone vector tool, we want to click the embeddings node and then add a new OpenAI node. Here, choose Text Embedding 3 Small and then click Save. Now one last thing that I like to do is to go into the AI agent and add a description for when it should use the tool. So if you already have your existing prompt, you can simply add a new section and call it Tools. And then here, provide a description of when it should call each tool. So in this case, I say use the policy search tool for refund policy information. And just make sure that the name of the tool also matches that. So I'm going to click here to rename this to Policy Search. Now at this moment, the AI agent is connected to Pinecone, but it's missing one key piece, which is the knowledge. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this workflow to actually add documents to the knowledge base. I'll delete everything so we can start from scratch, but you can also download this workflow to have everything set up and ready to go. So add a new manual trigger and then add a node after that with the set node. Here we're going to add some information. So I'm going to say policies, and I'll include 2 policies that I want to add to the knowledge base. Next, we're going to add the Pinecone node, and then choose Add Documents to Vector Store. Where it says Index, choose the index that we want to add the documents to, and then close out of that. Now under here, where it says Embeddings, choose OpenAI Embeddings, and then choose Text Embedding 3 Small. Where it says Document, we're going to open this up, and we're going to use the default data loader. And now we can simply run this workflow, and this will add our policies to the knowledge base. So now if we open the chat and we talk to our AI agent, it should be able to reference the policies that we added to our knowledge base. So I can ask it a question as if I were a customer. And there we go. So now the correct information has been returned from the AI agent, and we can see that it actually called the tool based on the fact that there's a check mark right here on the policy search tool. So there you have it. That's how you can add a knowledge base to your AI agent inside of N8N. If you found this video helpful, please do leave a like. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel because I make videos like these all the time. Hope you all have a good one. Peace.